Welcome, my name is Neil Moorcraft. This is Automate, and in this module, we're going to take a look at joint ventures and whether or not a JV is suitable for you, and if so, how we can identify partners. Diving into LinkedIn, looking at Sales Navigator to do exactly that. There's a template that you can use, so we'll take a look at that and we can rework the letter if this is relevant. And then I'm going to show you how to use a tag and an automation in Pipedrive. And the reason why I use Pipedrive as opposed to Active Campaign in this instance is because from a CRM point of view, from a customer relationship management point of view, when I'm inside the CRM on a daily basis, I want to be communicating and I want to know who's coming back to me, and I use that as my inbox. I use Active Campaign predominantly for sequences. So onboarding, for example, when somebody joins, the emails that come out of the system there can be automated, there can be time delays, and they're part of a sequence. When I'm just sending individual mails, but I want to use templates, then I'll use Pipedrive for that, and then that gives me a little bit more management. So I'll show you how to do that. And then if a JV is relevant for you in this instance, I'm going to take you back into WordPress. We're going to have a look at a Woo affiliate plugin, and if need be, we can install that. So without further ado, let's head over to our Asana workspace, make sure you're in the right place. And in here, in fact, you'll find, as I say, the attachment for the letter, but we'll come on to that in a minute. It's whether or not a JV is suitable for you. So this can work really well if you've got a digital product, because obviously the cost of that product is already borne. So you can effectively give that away and give that to a partner so they can have a look at it, and then they can become an affiliate for it. If you can do a special offer, or you've got a product or service that would be of use to someone that's aligned with your industry, then a JV can be a really good, easy way for you to find these partners, go to them with a letter, and then get them effectively to become a sort of virtual sales team for you. So to make that a little bit easier for you to understand, I'm going to show you this letter here. So this, as I say, is a template. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you get the gist of it. So my name is whoever you are from wherever you are. The reason I'm writing is that I'm on the lookout for JV partners for a new product launch or a new service or whatever it is you're doing, and would that be of interest to them. The process for them is very straightforward, and this is where it becomes really easy, because you'd have done this work beforehand, and I'll show you how to do that, of course. And if it's interesting to them, whether or not they want to take a look and go further. So you can effectively say that you've done the work for them, i.e. you put together your product page, which is your landing page, you've got your service already sorted out, you know the process that customers come through the customer journey, and what you're saying to them is, look, if you've got an audience that might benefit from my product or service, I can give it to you so you can have a look at it, or I can do you a good rate and you can use it. And then ultimately you can send an email to your base, and if they want to subscribe, you can track those subscriptions and they can become an affiliate for you. So as I say, this works. I mean, this letter you can read. I'm not going to read all of it now, but you get the idea of it. And obviously the red spaces are where you just need to change the copy. And as I say, it works really well if you've got a digital product or service, or a membership site or something like that, or if you've got a product with a high margin that you can do a really good no-brainer type deal for the JV, and potentially do a good deal for their partners. So have a look at that. You'll get an idea as to whether or not that's going to be suitable for you or not. And if it is, you'll want to head over to Sales Navigator, come in here and start looking for people that are aligned with the industry. Now, in all honesty, for 186 Cloud, for this example, I don't think a JV is suitable. For me as a business, it's absolutely suitable. So I JV with podcasters and YouTubers and accountants and that kind of stuff. So anybody that I think might benefit from the product and the course that I'm selling, and B, would have a big enough audience and that it would make sense for them to do a mail out and become an affiliate for me. And obviously then I don't need to worry about ads and SEO and all that kind of stuff, because that just becomes another traffic source. And I give them what would be my customer acquisition cost as a discount, and everybody's a winner. So if it is a good fit for you, you want to come in here, start searching, and create a list effectively of JV partners. It's not that hard to do. And once you've got that, do your initial outreach campaign, and then when they come back, you can either automate that process, or, as I say, I'm going to show you just how to create a tag and a workflow, so that when someone comes back and expresses an interest, all you have to do effectively is click a couple of buttons and it sends them the template. So yeah, have a look through Sales Navigator. If that makes sense, do that. And then, as I say, if that does make sense, you can come into Pipedrive, and I'll show you now how to just set up a very basic workflow. So I've set up this email signature template. That's fine. What I would then do is create a new template. So I would add a new template. I'd call it JV. I would get my copy from here after, of course, I've changed the wording to suit. But let's assume that I've done that. So I'll take that, come back into here, and paste that in, and put JV opportunity, and then just save that as a template. And then I would come into my workflows, and I would create a new workflow that basically is going to say that when I tag someone, or when a tag is added, it's just going to trigger that email. So I'm going to call that JV. JV's even JV. That's fine. And you see, this works pretty much like an Active Campaign would, but as I say, there's differences, and Active Campaign is definitely better for sequences, but for stuff like this is perfect. So we can say that when a person is created with a particular set of conditions, which would be a label, and in this instance and we'll create one called JV. It might be that I have to create this label first, actually. Yeah, I do. So I've got to come into my labels and create that label first. I'll show you how to do that. Let's go into deals. I'm just going to add a new deal in here, just so we can see. We get the labels. So the labels come up here. So I can add a label and call it JV. Save, and then I can go back to my workflow into that automation, and then just specify that now where the label is. Deal label, that is. It's in here somewhere. I don't know where that is in as enough, but anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to worry about that for now. You create that specific field. I'll come back and do that, save you just sitting there watching me. And then what you want to do is say, when that happens, I want to send an email using a template to the person, the primary email holder, and then the template will be in there that we've already done. Apply that, and once that's saved, so I will need to just check that condition. It might be that I have to add another label, and as I say, it's a bit fiddly, so I won't necessarily do that right now, but it's easy enough, you get the idea. And then you activate that, and that's it. So what would happen is that when I identified somebody predominantly from LinkedIn, so I've done that engagement, they've come back and they said, yeah, they're interested, I would then create either a person or a deal, depending on how you want to do that. And when I give them the label of whatever it is we've just done, that will then trigger that event. Simple as that. So as soon as that happens, that email goes out and you don't have to worry about it. And that, as I say, is a nice basic way of setting up some automation and some workflows. And of course, when you get your head around that, and as I say, you might want to think about the structure of these labels. Yeah, it's really down to you. There are some defaults in there. I use them as triggers. So, you could have, want directions, or they want pricing information or anything like that. So you can just build up these little tags where someone says, oh, can you send me something that's, relevant to X, Y, Z? And you've created a tag for it. You've already created an automation for it, and you just tag them and off it goes. And of course, over time, that makes that process really, really easy. So with that in mind, let's go over back to our workspace and have a look at the plugin. So if a JV is relevant for you and you sell your product or service digitally, i.e. someone buys it online through a WooCommerce plugin, or you have an integration with Stripe or something like that, then you're going to want to have a plugin for your affiliates, and the plugin that you want is this one here. So I've got a link to that in Asana Workspace. I've done that search already so you can see it, and it's this instance here. Now what that does effectively is just allow you to sell that product online with an affiliate code, which then tracks the commissions for that particular person. As I say, this isn't relevant for 186, so I'm not going to install that plugin. But if you do, it's pretty straightforward to go through the process. And once you've got that, that's it. You kind of got that system set up. It's pretty straightforward. You then go out to LinkedIn, find those partners, and yeah, ultimately it's going to be easier maybe to identify 10 partners that have all got maybe 100 or a few hundred customers on their own subscriber list, or sometimes thousands, rather than you going to find all of those thousands. So it's a really good strategy. So it works great for some industries, not so good from others, but that just depends on your business, of course. Right, that's it for this module. I'll see you in the next training.